It's been 2 weeks since Graham Rowntree and Munster have parted ways, sending shockwaves through the URC. In today's video, we're going to be giving our thoughts on the situation, ranking the possible replacements, and crown who we would appoint as Munster's next head coach. Let's get stuck in. On the 29th of October, we were told, and I quote, Munster Rugby and the IRFU confirmed the departure of Graham Rowntree. In my eyes, this is simple. The IRFU have a responsibility to the clubs. They are involved in all the provincial coaches' contracts, and leaving Munster high and dry is unacceptable. There is plenty of options out there, some of which would require the IRFU and the Munster board to buy out their current contracts. Just get it fucking done. There is plenty of options, so let's take a look. Before going through the coaches, if you're enjoying the video, be a gent and hit like and subscribe. It honestly massively helps us out in creating more of this kind of unfiltered rugby content. Right, so first off, let's just take Rog out of the equation. He's made it very clear, he has no interest. Many argued for years that he needs to go off and earn his stripes prior to being graced with the appointment of our beloved, perishing club. He has now undoubtedly overshot the role, and I'd imagine his next step after La Rochelle will be international rugby. Let's not feel too hard done by. He's a damn good coach, who rightly so sees the Munster job as beneath him. And I'm sure one day our paths will cross again, but until then, it's nice to see him flourish in his own right. Time to learn the lesson though, and not let her ego get in the way. The best we can hope for is to not let another rising coach slip through our fingers. We see 5 different realistic choices. Option 1 is Declan Kidney. Donncha O'Callaghan recently made the most compelling case for Kidney, stating if there was ever a man to kick down the door of the IRFU, it's Kidney. Kidney's last stint at Munster lasted 3 years, from 2005 to 2008, where he won 2 Champions Cups, prior to leaving for the Ireland coaching role. He brings with him a wealth of knowledge and experience. He was most recently the Director of Rugby for London Irish, up until they went into administration in 2023. The pro of this being he's not currently under contract. At 65 years old, however, does Declan have one last hurrah in him? Option 2 is Felix Jones. Currently under contract but banished from England, Jones was last involved with Munster as a backs coach from 2016 to 2019 before being recruited by Rassie, subsequently winning the World Cup with South Africa. Jones is one of the rising stars in the coaching world, and ignoring his current predicament has always been very highly regarded. Could now be the perfect opportunity to snatch up an otherwise unattainable talent? Option 3 is Mike Prendergast. Prendergast is the current attack coach at Munster. With probably the most complete CV bar Declan Kidney, doesn't this choice make the most sense? 3 stints in France as a backs coach with Oyonnax, Stade Francais and Racing, all of which he left with heaps of praise. The only argument I can see against Prendergast is that he is part of what is already deemed to be a rotten system that has already shunted Rowntree. Does he have what it takes to turn things around? Option 4 gives us a fresh face at the helm, Gerry Flanery. Flanery has been all over since hanging up his playing boots. He was a strength conditioning coach at Arsenal for 2 years, before returning to Munster, first as a scrum coach and then the forwards coach from 2014 to 2019. He was then the line-out and defence coach at the Harlequins for 4 years, winning the English Premiership and reaching a Champions Cup semi-final. Only problem is he is currently South Africa's defence coach, meaning we'd have to fork over a decent chunk of change to acquire his skills. Lastly, option 5 is Paul O'Connell. O'Connell begun his coaching career as the Ireland under-20s coach before moving on to Stade Francais as the forwards coach, the same time as Prendergast. He's been the Ireland forwards coach since 2021. He is quite possibly the past player most synonymous with the club, as he always embodied the Munster spirit. Due to his time with Ireland, he could have some very valuable connections when it comes to contract talks, etc. But would the IRFU be willing to let him divert his focus towards Munster? Especially as Andy Farrell would be busy overseeing the Lions tour. Well, you've heard the pros and cons for each option. Let us know if you do it differently in the comments, but here's how we're ranking them. At 5, we've Mike Prendergast. It just seems like the easy way out. He's already here, he won't cost us anything, so ignore the fact that he's inadvertently contributed to a failing system and give him the keys to the kingdom with the hope he'll fix it. Seems like a huge ask. At 4, we have Felix Jones. Jones is undoubtedly one of the rising stars in the coaching world, and if the English had cut ties cleanly, I think we'd be straight in for him. But knowing that we'd have to cough up a few quid, coupled with the fact he's essentially been fired from his last role, it doesn't exactly fill me with promise. At 3, Declan Kidney. He is without question one of, if not the most successful coach in Munster's history. He might not be the most progressive choice, but given he's out of contract and the idea that he might correct the backroom errors setting us up for the future, you can't argue with Donogh O'Callaghan's conclusion that he's a great choice. At 2, and our runner-up is Jerry Flanery. Flanery has gained a lot of experience quickly since beginning his coaching career. Truth be told, I think he'd do an unreal job, but I just don't see the IRFU or the Munster board forking out the money required to get him. Sorry, Jerry.
Go.
You guessed it, taking our crown as the next Munster coach is Paul O'Connell. I think given the tough couple of weeks Munster fans have had, O'Connell's appointment as head coach would certainly lift some spirits. Truth be told, I think Munster fans would wholeheartedly back any of the options we've gone through today. But for us, it's more conceivable to think that a man already under contract with the IRFU would be appointed. O'Connell to the rescue. What do you guys think? Have your say in the comments below. Cheers for watching, catch you at the next one.